Hi guys, welcome to another YouTube video. Now, today we're going to talk about the US mission in Nigeria released a statement on their X account. They said, why Nigerians are urged to endure economic hardship like labor pains, that's crazy, like a pregnant woman, like labor pains. Some governors are splurging billions on new government houses in Nigeria. The Budget ITNG warns that instead of funding schools, clinic, or agriculture, leaders prioritize buildings they barely use. Then CELAC Nigeria added that there is more money. CELAC Nigeria is a non-government legislative advocacy organization in Nigeria. They say that they added that there is more money, little accountability, no priority. Yes, this one is it's never news to us. We are not new to this. As Nigerians, we are used to this kind of news. Yeah, we know. It's the other day we saw the daughter of the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in US, UK, yeah, where she was doing the fit check. Most of our politicians, their children are in the West. They are abroad. While they are at home stealing monies, borrowing money here and there, crumbling the economy. And our Nigerian politicians, most of them, their hands are dirty. They're not done bad. They have cases with the EFCC itself. Some of them have stolen billions of naira. That they have cases with the EFCC, and they are still in power. You can see the likes of Yahya Bello allegedly stole billions of naira. So in Nigeria, in Nigeria, for you to become a politician, if your hands are not dirty, it's like you cannot even get into power. That's why Peter Obi is struggling right now, because as if his hand is clean. It's like he's the righteous one now. Now the other day, the U.S. Senate, the Nigerian Senate approved $22 billion for the president to borrow again. I'm coming around, I'll bring that story up. Yeah, on the 22nd of July, the Nigerian Senate approved a $22 billion additional of external borrowing for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. It also approved a 750.98 billion domestic bond issuance and a 65 million euros grant with an already existing public debt of about 149.93 trillion naira. Can you see how crazy that sounds? As at the first quarter of 2025, adding the approved loans of about 37.2 trillion naira. It now brings our current total debt to about 187 trillion, with concerns that our debts might be likely over 200 trillion by the end of 2025. In a country that as our GDP before rebasing was about 269.2 trillion. That's about $180 billion. Hey, the government has borrowed about 70% of the equivalent of our GDP last year. That is our previous GDP. Even after rebasing, which puts our GDP to about 372.8 trillion naira, which is about $243.7 billion. The government would have borrowed 50.16% of the new GDP with the approved loans, which is the highest debt to GDP ratio in our history as a nation. While the year-on-year increase is about 27.72 trillion and the quarter-on-quarter increase is about 4.72 trillion naira, we are accumulating very exponential levels of unsustainable debts with little or nothing to show forth. What are we producing? That's the question. What are we producing? We cannot even meet up with about 1.5 million barrels of oil, as per OPEC are telling us to produce per day. We can't even meet that up. This is how crazy it is now. In 2025, the US became a net exporter of oil to Nigeria. Nigeria that has oil more than US. It is the US that is exporting oil to us. 53% of oil Dangote received was from outside the country, was from the US. About 53% of oil Dangote is refining is from outside. You can imagine how that sounds. Borrowing is not bad though, but what you are borrowing, are you using it to do a good thing? Now, the money you're borrowing, what are you going to use it for? What are the outcomes? What are you investing those money you're borrowing? Where is it going into the economy? The money you borrowed, what are you going to use it for? Or is it going to be shared among the elites in our nation? Look at China. Xi Jinping, 13 years in China. Their GDP has grown. I'll post a picture of Xi Jinping's career over the years in China. They are so grown that Xi Jinping, the president of China, is now borrowing Nigeria herself. Maybe I'll do a video on China. China was nothing, but look at how they have come out of their bubble. Lives and property are being lost every day. Nigerians are killed, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, the northeast, the north itself, by Fulani headsmen and all these bad guys. Security is zero. If a soldier asks for better arms to fight these Fulani headsmen, he'll be imprisoned. You dare not ask question. How can I, as a military personnel, going to fight an enemy, and the enemy has better weapons than me? Do you know how crazy that sounds? I'm a military man now. I'm going to fight my enemy, and my enemy has better arsenals than me. The sound of their gun, the sound of their gun is so heavy, more than me. I will not be encouraged to go and fight them. We need to invest in our security, invest in our economy. Nigeria has become the poverty capital of the world. Even India itself is like India is even doing better than us. And they're about billions. They're about billions in India. We are just about 250, 80 million in Nigeria. And still, we saw India, we overtook India in that ladder. This is why we need to fix the economy. We need to produce our oil. They say we have natural resources in Nigeria. Right from school, when we're small, there's gold, there's diamond, there is oil, there's coal, there's gas. Why are we not producing? If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.